Hey guys, this is Drakor. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am reviewing the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse Wave 2 Rogue. This is from Series 2 of the Age of Apocalypse figures. I picked these up at TC's Rockets at 5155 Waring Road here in San Diego, California, where I pick up most of my collectibles. They are my favorite comic shop and hobby shop and overall just game store and everything that I enjoy here. And they're really good about having some really cool stuff and decent prices. But anyways, this is Rogue as she appeared in the Age of Apocalypse back in 1995's storyline of the same name, post-apocalyptic future where Professor Xavier was killed and it was left to Magneto to form the X-Men. So here's the front with Rogue in there. She's part of the Colossus Build-A-Figure set. She comes with Colossus's arm, his left arm, and his additional left hand. And then her accessories are two closed fists. And we'll take a look at those closer when we get inside. Here is the bio. Rogue moves her way up the ranks of Magneto's X-Men, eventually leading a team of mutants to prevent the culling of humankind. And that's her bio. She also happens to be Magneto's wife in this continuity. The figures you can get in Wave 2 are Magneto. We will be taking a look at him later this week. Rogue, Cyclops, Sabretooth, Kitty Pryde, Iceman, and the man who started all, Legion, which is Professor Xavier's son, who went back in the past to kill Magneto but accidentally killed his father. And together they build the Colossus action figure. So there's some really cool artwork of Rogue on the side with with Apocalypse looking ominously on. Same artwork on the other side. The good artwork of Rogue right here on the back. And so give me a moment to get this out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. Be right back. Okay, and here she is out of the packaging. So, as I said, the figure itself comes with a few things. You have her. No additional heads or anything. But you do get... She has the open hands on her right now. Or open hands. And then she has two additional... Whoops. Stay. She has two additional fists. One for each hand. And then her Build-A-Figure pieces, which is the left arm of Colossus. And an additional closed left hand for Colossus. Which kind of looks like it shares some sculpt similarities with the Apocalypse. I could be wrong, but they both have those like metal hands with the weird pieces for the knuckles over them. So that's her accessories, and that's one of my overall. I like this figure. One of my biggest gripes is her accessories did not include one of the most important things for Rogue. It did not come with an ungloved hand. How is she going to use her powers if she can't take her gloves off? She has to touch people. That's the thing. Anyways, let's take a look at the overall Deco and Sculpt, because I think that is where it shines pretty well. It is definitely a very 90s design, but this is the Age of Apocalypse. Everything was extreme in 90s. So we have a... If we can get it to focus. Come on, focus. It's hard to tell, but a fairly decent head sculpt with some nice green eyes and red lips for the lipstick. And I think it's actually a really good Rogue look, especially from this time period. Then she has this weird pixie cut / extra long on the front kind of cut that she had in that in the Age of Apocalypse storyline, along with the white bangs, the trademark white bangs of Rogue in any reality. She she does kind of have a popsicle stick head. Like if you're going to do anything from behind, do not lean her head that far forward, because you will see that there's like ball and peg right there. So that's unfortunate, but overall it's still good. And it does allow for a lot of movement. Like, she can move her head back that far. Like, looks up to the heavens. She can look down really far, too. So, I mean, that's good. But then, again, you got the popsicle neck, which is kind of like, okay, it feels like it's setting a little too high up. Back to Deco before we go into full articulation. She has this studded collar piece that is around her neck that just tabs in up the top so it doesn't move. It's not glued, but it'll tab in and then it won't move. A lot of the Age of Apocalypse characters have that. I always make this joke. Either they have a studded collar or some type of face paint in the Age of Apocalypse. Not 100% true, but close enough. Her classic green and yellow costume has been replaced with a costume with the same colors, but a very different look. It's kind of got like a green jacket thing with a yellow swimsuit over it. And then a green tight shirt under that. Green leggings with the darker green on it. A yellow yellow pouch belt, which in the 90s everyone had pouch belts. Some actually sensible shoes for if you're battling bad guys. No high heels here like in the original Rogue costume. Actually, her original costume didn't have them either, but a lot of women's costumes had like high heels, which makes no sense if you're battling bad guys. These are some reasonably tough looking boots that look like that they could actually be used in battle with a red accent and a black stripe at the top. And then her yellow gloves. So that was her Age of Apocalypse look. I think it was a very good look, and it makes sense for her. The one thing that I don't like is, another thing is, they gave her a peg hole, and that's usually for characters with capes. And she doesn't have a cape, so I'm assuming that there is a possibly Storm or some other female character who's coming up that's going to have a cape that will peg into the back. And they just decided to reuse the mold and not change it. So other than her popsicle head doing the back and forward pretty well, and like looking up and looking down, she does get the full 360. Her hair does not inhibit the movement, but that's also, she's got a little attitude too. But that's also probably just because, again, it looks like it's setting too far up off her neck. It's kind of sad. She has full 360 rotation at the arms. She can not quite do a full T-pose just because of sculpt, but close enough. And you can put those back down. She has a swivel at the bicep, or not the bicep, at the elbow. She has an elbow swivel. She has a single joint at the elbow, 90 degrees bend. She has you can turn her hand. This little glove piece can move up out of the way if you need to move it out of the way so that she can utilize her back motion, which goes that far back, which is really far back for a hand. And then it can go that far down, which is actually really good. Then you can twist her hands. She has an upper torso articulation that kind of works as her waist, but also her crunch. She can only crunch that far forward, and she kind of has a weird bump on her back when she does that. She can crunch this far back, which is actually quite a bit back, and then you have the neutral position, which is probably right about here, the correct position. I mean, yes, that's still a very unnatural spine position for a person, but that's how they drew them in the comics. 90s were weird. And then, like I said, it works like her waist articulation. She can do a full 360. I'm not going to do it, though, because sometimes I'll pop a joint if you're not careful. Her legs, let's move arms out of the way. Her legs can move up that far, actually quite far. And then without moving it out, it can't really move back. But then if you move it out a little bit, it still kind of can move back. But they did her a disservice because she has they gave her a very wide posterior that stops it from moving. And I think Rogue in the comic was drawn a bit better than that, but that's okay. She has an upper thigh twist on both legs. Then she also has your double jointed knee that comes with everything. There's one There's two, and it does it with no problem. And then when you position that back, you have her foot can go back this far. Whoops, that far. And then it can move forward this far, which is actually pretty far for a foot, my action figure. And then it does have the pivot to both sides, which is great because you need that for some posing. And that's pretty much all her articulation. Like I said, the only other thing she really comes with other than, you know, herself is the additional Build-A-Figure pieces. And we'll review that when we get Colossus built. And then her two hands, which also have the hinge and are just like closed versions of her hands. So overall, I'm okay with this. I do think it is one of the weaker releases from the Age of Apocalypse series, simply for the, just like the lollipop head on the popsicle stick looking thing that they got going with her head. Like the head is just, it's too far up. I don't know why they did that. But overall, the design's good. It's taken straight from the comic. I enjoy that. And, I mean, the design is correct. Some of the articulation's a little more limited than I wanted. And then the main thing that would have made this perfect that they did not do was give her an ungloved hand. They've given it to every other single rogue except her. Her powers are still the same set of powers in the Age of Apocalypse. I don't know why they didn't do that. Anyways, I do still like her. I do think she's worth picking up. I guess I've started doing a numbering system from 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, not good at all, and 10 being the best. To me, she's a solid... Even though she's one of my favorite X-Men characters, she's a solid 7.5. She's worth picking up. She's serviceable. But she's not like a shining gem of the collection, unfortunately. Which is sad, because she's one of my favorite characters. But yes, I picked her up at TC's Rockets here in San Diego at 5155 Waring Road, San Diego, California, 92116. And you can also visit their website at https://tcsrockets.com. That again is https://www.tcsrockets.com. I think I left the www out, but yes, and you can pick her up there because I think they still have some of these in stock. She's not bad. She's going for $25-ish, which is actually a good deal at most retailers. And yeah, so please check her out. If you want to pick her up, she's definitely worth it. She's just not the brightest spot of the collection. She's still a great figure, and she's good for what she was intended for, but hopefully maybe in the future date we'll get a better version. Anyways, like this video, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for new videos. And thank you for watching. Link in the description for TC's Rockets. And come back here on Friday for my review of the second half of her dynamic duo, her husband Magneto. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.